Look closely. Every time a private equity firm fires thousands, it feels like a punch to the gut, doesn't it? It's not just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's lives uprooted, families shaken, careers shattered. You're sitting there, feeling powerless, wondering how they keep getting away with it. How can a few suits in fancy offices decide the fate of so many people without blinking? The answer isn't simple, but it's sitting right in front of us, and it's brutal. Private equity firms don't just wake up one day and decide to gut companies for fun. They operate inside a system designed to reward ruthless efficiency and short-term gains at any cost. They see workers as liabilities, not people. It's a cold, calculating world where the bottom line is king. Meanwhile, leaders like you, managers and professionals trying to hold your teams together, feel torn apart. Part of you wants to protect your people. Another part knows the pressure coming from above is crushing. The reality is, private equity's power comes from their control over money and influence. They buy companies using massive borrowed funds, then squeeze every drop of value to pay back their debts and make profits. If people have to go, they go, not because it's right, but because it's profitable. They prey on a broken system that prioritizes shareholder value over human value. And the worst part? Those thousands fired aren't just statistics. They're the very heartbeat of the business, the talent, the culture, the history. From their pain, private equity profits. It's maddening, yes. But here's the truth you need to hear right now. Feeling powerless is not the end of the story. Because behind every firing spree, behind every restructuring, there is a gap, an opportunity. It's the space where leadership, courage, and strategy can flip the script. It's where you find control inside chaos. The question isn't just why private equity gets away with this madness. It's how you stop being a helpless bystander and become a decisive force that saves the people and the value at risk. Let's be clear. This isn't some idealistic rant about kindness or corporate social responsibility. This is about smart, fierce leadership that understands the game and rewrites it. The first step is decoding the strategy behind these layoffs. Private equity firms focus almost entirely on numbers, quarterly reports, and quick gains. They ignore what really drives sustainable growth: people's knowledge, motivation, innovation, and trust. They fire thousands because it reduces immediate costs, but that destroys long-term value. Your job is to flip that upside down and make people your secret weapon. How? Start with transparency. Don't just accept restructuring as a black box. Demand clear, honest communication about why cuts are proposed. You want numbers? Show that firing thousands might lower expenses, but will kill productivity, customer loyalty, and institutional memory. Present alternatives backed by data and evidence. Suggest smarter options like targeted reskilling, internal redeployment, or phased reductions aligned with business pivots. When you bring real solutions to the table, you change the conversation from a simple no to a strategic yes. Next, leverage relationships. Private equity firms often see executives and managers as simple implementers of decisions, but that's where they're wrong. Leadership is a network game. Connect with other leaders inside and outside your company. Build alliances with investors who care about reputation and long-term success, not just short-term profits. Find influential voices who get that laying off thousands threatens the entire ecosystem: suppliers, customers, communities. When you amplify these collective concerns, you press those firms into a corner where layoffs become a real risk to their broader agenda and credibility. Don't forget culture, the invisible glue. Private equity fires thousands because rebuild is easier than repair. But a toxic culture or low morale costs way more in lost productivity innovation, and loyalty than any paycheck saved. Leaders who invest in culture preservation and employee engagement make their companies unattractive for reckless cuts. When employees feel seen and valued, even under pressure, they become warriors, not victims. That resilience doesn't come from perks or lip service, but from authentic, consistent leadership, where every person has a voice and a role in the future. Now, here's a bold truth that changes everything. The strongest lever against mass firing is your own mind. The system wants leaders to be fearful and obedient, saying, "You have no choice." That belief is the quiet prison we refuse to live in. You have more power than you think. You can negotiate, influence, and reshape the outcomes. That starts by seeing layoffs not as inevitable, but as options to be fought, questioned, and transformed. When that mindset clicks, it radiates. It spreads confidence, and that energy shifts the whole environment. But there's a deeper layer few want to admit. Private equity's success in firing thousands is also a failure of connection between leaders, professionals, and investors who could build real bridges instead of succumbing to competitive isolation. The system doesn't want collaboration. It wants control through division. Your real breakthrough comes when you reject this isolation and seek allies who share your vision of humane and sustainable leadership. Together, by strategically combining influence, intellect, and integrity, you build an unbreakable network that private equity firms can't unravel with mere layoffs. It's not just about fighting the fire. It's about redefining the fire itself. If private equity thinks the way forward is cutting heads, your answer is to ignite new paths. Paths that grow from respecting talent, investing in learning, and nurturing innovation. Encourage your teams to become problem solvers and creators who don't just survive change, they shape it. Teach your people to think like owners, to care like founders. That collective ownership mindset transforms vulnerability into unparalleled strength. Imagine a workplace where layoffs are last resorts, not first reactions, where bosses empower rather than eliminate, where investors seek growth through human potential, not human sacrifice. This is not a fantasy. It's an attainable outcome that depends on the relentless refusal to accept lame excuses and tired scripts. It's about battling the addictive allure of short-term profit hacks with the steady courage of long-term vision. And if you feel that burning frustration inside, like something here doesn't settle, that there's a call beyond corporate scripts, that feeling is your real power urging you to break free. The road will not be easy. The system pushes back hard, clinging to its illusions of control. But those who dare to stay patient, strategic, and fiercely human will be the ones who not only save jobs, but remake entire industries. So don't just watch passively as thousands are fired unfairly. Use your understanding, your leadership, and your alliances as bullets against this damaging pattern. Get analytical, but stay empathetic, firm but flexible, strategic but deeply human. Create plans that show firing isn't just harsh, it's stupid business. Build stories that highlight the long-term damage in a way investors can't ignore. Connect dots between what private equity values, profits, reputation, legacy, and why mass firing endangers all three. The moment when you decide to fight, this is the moment you step beyond being just a manager or executive. You become a force of change, a guardian of value, a protector of people who know real strength lies in collective resilience, not ruthless cuts. Remember, the world already promised you freedom, but never gave you the tools to claim it. Here's the tool: your courage to stand against a system bent on convenience and conformity. In the end, private equity gets away with firing thousands only if leaders don't stand up and rewrite the rules. but leaders like you, who refuse to be silenced or sidelined, who question everything and push hard for real alternatives. That's how the story changes. You are not just fighting layoffs. You're redefining what leadership means in a world desperate for something better. So own your power. Build your network. Fight with ideas, empathy, and unwavering resolve. And watch how the impossible cracks open. Because when you stop letting the system dictate what's possible, you don't just save jobs. You light the way for a new kind of leadership that refuses to sacrifice people for profit. That's how real change starts. That's how the many are freed by the few. Never accept that thousands must be fired for business to survive. Question it. Challenge it. Rewrite it. The future belongs to those who are ready to burn down old illusions and build a new reality, where courage outshines fear, connection beats isolation, and leadership is about lifting people up, not cutting them down. This is your moment. Don't waste it.